Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to discuss or to teach you exactly how to solve parasummary questions for the CAT exam. So, and for that I'll take the one of the real example from the last year um, parasummary question, 2024, one of the parasummary questions. So but before we jump to the parasummary questions, let me tell you, what do you think about parasummary? Parasummary is nothing but a what? A concise, brief information of the original context. So, in such kind of a questions, one has to understand the passes. One has to find out the main idea, and one has to remove wrong options and finally learn why the correct answer works. Let's begin. Let me point out, when we go for the summary based questions, generally in means a summary based parasummary based question in a CAT, we have options, right? Um, a kind of you can say that syst sorry, yeah. So you find out a kind of 60 to 80 words, or maybe means it extends to means 90 words, right? So 60 to 80 or maybe 90 words limited, a small paragraph is provided. On the basis of that, you would find out means four options, right? That uh, marked with the A, B, C, D, right? So, and all these sentence statements are nothing but called as a connecting to this particular passage, right? We need to find out which of the option is the best summary to this particular text. So, but when we talk about para summary, right? So, para summary. So this particular paragraph is the original paragraph, right? And we need to find out the choice, which will be the summary, right? So earlier what we do actually, earlier we write the summary, but here we need to choose the appropriate summary. And in exam we have a means um, we have a kind of a choice to choose, right or not? So, and it is a means it is having with the negative mark, right? Negative mark. Fine. Now, let me point out what are the things that we generally follow when we go for the parasummary questions. So the first thing is called as when we go for the parasummary questions, we need to and understand, read and understand what? Read and understand the passage. Read and understand the passage or paragraph. That is the first step. Step one. Step one. Step two is what? When we talk about step two, we find out that uh, we need to also identify the author's, identify what? The author's purpose. The author's purpose. Author's purpose, right? Uh, Similar to that, we also need to follow step three, in which we need to follow that eliminate wrong options, wrong options, right or not. So eliminating, following the elimination approach, then finally we'll go for the step four. Step four. You may find out more than one option that so means similar kind of a response. It means you may find out two options are there which have a slightly differentiation. So in that case, always remember we need to choose the best option that provide the summary. best, choose the best summary, you can say that. Best summary, right? So, fine. What we supposed to do here means we when we go for all such kind of a thing, we will follow one of the example of the last year CAT exam, and on the basis of that, we understand how we handle the parasummary question. Yeah. So let me take you to the one of the questions here. So see that. What is it given? So it is provided the passage given below is followed by four alternate summaries. So we need to choose the option that best captures the essence of the passage, right? Now, look at the passage. What does it say? Scientific research shows that many animals are very intelligent and have sensory and uh, what you can say that motor abilities that dwarf ours. So dogs are able to detect diseases such as cancer and diabetes and warn humans of impending heart attacks and strokes. Elephants, whales, hippopotamuses, giraffes, and alligators use low-frequency sounds to communicate over long distances, often miles. Many animals also display wide-ranging emotions, including joy, happiness, and empathy, compassion, grief, and even resentment and embarrassment. It is not surprising that animals share many emotions with us because we also share brain structure, right or not? So, located in the limbic system. So, that are the seat of our emotions. Fine. Now, uh, let's look at that. What do we find out while we are going for such kind of a paragraph? We need to observe that means that we read the text properly and we find out the main idea out of this. Now, if you look at that, the um, first step, the first step is called as read and understand the passage. So, what does the text tries to tell us? The text tries to tell us that scientific research shows that many animals are very intelligent, right? So, it also tries to tell us we share brain structures located in the limbic system, right? Located in the limbic system. So that are the seat of our emotion, right? So what is the passage really saying? It is not just listening animal abilities. It is giving a reason why animals show emotion like humans, isn't it? So that's what. So we need to point out what is the passage. What is the passage really saying? The passage is really saying, right? So we understand that what it is not just listing animal abilities, it is giving a what region why animals show emotion like humans. So we find out that what animals show human-like emotions, right? Why? Then because we share similar brain structure similar brain structure that control emotions, isn't it? So that is the core idea. Got my point? So in that case, then so we find out our first step. The first step is called to read and understand the passage. And then after we go for the next one, the next step, step two. So step two. So what step two is trying to tell us? Identify the author's purpose. So what is the author's purpose? The author is not comparing. The author doesn't compare. The author is not comparing. The author is not comparing what intelligence uh, or not talking about disease detection alone, right? The writer is explaining what why animals experience emotion like us, right? That is the means writer's main purpose of giving the idea. So the correct summary must include what means um, animals show complex emotion. Animals show complex emotion. Then second is called as why? Because they share similar brain structure with us. So that could be the step two, right? That could be author's purpose. Then step three is known as means eliminating wrong options. So eliminating wrong options means that called as a if we see animals, look at the options. What are the options we have? The first option is called as animals can show emotion which are typically associated with the humans. Second, the similarity in brain structure explains why animals show emotion typically associated with humans. Right? Just a minute. Then, second is called as the advanced sensory and motor abilities of animals is the reason why they can display wide-ranging emotions. And fourth, animals are more intelligent than us in sensing danger and detecting disease. Now, on the basis of that, if we look at the first option, uh, yes. So, first option, animals can show emotion which are typically associated with the humans. So, it is actually incomplete, right? It is incomplete. It mentions emotion but ignores the region, right? So then we look at that option B. B said what the similarities in brain structure explains why animals show emotions typically associated with humans. Yeah, that could be the answer. So third, the advanced sensory and motor abilities of animals is the reason why uh, they can display wide-ranging emotions. So again, if you talk about option C, so animal sensory and motor abilities are the reason for their emotions. So which is nothing but wrong, completely wrong, right? So it is incomplete, and this one is completely wrong. So the passage says actually what the passage says emotions come from the brain, not not from sensors, right? So that is why it is wrong. And option four, which is stated animals are more intelligent than us in sensing danger and detecting disease. So it is not the topic at all. So this is not relevant to the topic. This is just one example, right? Example, not the main point. So, all total, if you look at that, all these four sentences, out of that, option B is the correct one. So, and other three are the wrong because of the regions pointed. So, option B is indicating what means perfectly captures actually both parts, right? Both parts means what and why. So, what animal shows emotions? Why? Because their brain structure is similar to ours. So, this matches the passage exactly. So, the answer is option B, right? So, the final takeaway for this particular question types is called as a for CAT parasummary question, always follow what? The rule. What is that rule? That is called as a main idea, main idea equal to what, then after why. What plus why. Ignore examples. Focus on the author's purpose. Eliminate options that mention only details or change the meaning. Right? So that's what is the parasummary. Right? So if you found this explanation helpful, don't forget to like the video, share it with your cat friends, and subscribe for more high quality VRC explanation. Right? So that's all. Thank you.